Share the program for us as soon as you join us. Good morning to you. Welcome to Legal Matters. The world that we live in. Watch and watch and watch. You've got to make sure that you protect your own interest at all times. Love yourself first before you can ever love anyone else. As soon as you join us, one share a day. Remember that. Keep ignorance away. So you join us, you also share it. Share the program for us as soon as you join us. One share a day definitely will keep ignorance away. Yes, love. Mr. Alexander Ofosu, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing as well. #1 legal show in the diaspora. Brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors. The name is David Darker. Ashton Brantier. Najima Konya. Mami Abina Yachia. Wasi Obiawa Ebi show in the crew. That's right. I went to you. Se obia emuwa me mane nyo ya a. That's right, share the program for us. Lucy Adoma Boateng. Reading Yachiachiano. Reading Pentecost and Chigambo Hunde I. That's right. For a woman will be a young Mr. Chasamari, Yachachia. Baby, I will be a yes, I should be and count I. What the two are not share program this one my end. Yes, I said baby this year abeye baby akwa. Akwantu omunsem ye kan de onim na akwantu omunsem de eye ensempi. Justice and law de ye di bremu bia no eye life and colored, life and clear. What happens in real life is what we also bring to you. And therefore for me, I will say that it's important that we also learn from programs such as Legal Matters, because we bring you the undiluted stories, real life stories that we learn from law books, that we learn from cases that has gone before the courts. And for me, like they say, a wise man learns from others' mistakes, but the fool always tries to learn from his own demise. What has happened to people? For me, you ask yourself, what is it that we can also learn from others' mistakes so that we don't repeat the same mistakes? And it's very, very important. Say in every learning, we look at examples, precedents, what has happened to others, and the lessons that we can also learn from. It's vitally important that we learn from what has happened to people so that we don't repeat the same mistakes. Mr. Agrifen, Yachakshaw, and Anapay, and say Bibia or Recordoboko. Yes, enti ene, mihu semenka adienimpo uchimo, semenka ne brofumo, me am I confused, and I'm a tea hanumano. Dear meeting, I can say a very, very important. I say, Mobile DA, you bet na supem. At the same time, so no, you bet your BB every day yenimu. Now, the topic that we are bringing to you is switching into 5-year route as a parent. I have received a lot of phone calls over the last couple of days. Apparently, some people are also going around telling people that if you have been living in the UK for 10 years, you can apply for indefinite. One have to be very, very, very careful. It is not like that at all. I will do the best that I can and explain it in the best possible way so that we get better understanding. Sikapewe nepe edin pao, nemu mwanye careful. Obi betwedi. Na ekroma so sometimes no obi kaye se o de counterfeit ekoto read. Na se o sa akonom no inspector den echi. Na se ye chiwa. Na che se wasem mobo. Enti de betimi aka say yenye very, very careful. Se obi kan say na say it's too good to be true. Pamacho o lawyer for phone. Ana say unim obi a sebe onim emremu kakra for phone ne free nipa no. Ne busa ne se na wate eye ampa na. Before say ode ohun ba ko hye bibim ama yakwa akotwemwadi. Emre pi no obi be frel. Now the person is gone beyond redemption. There is nothing that you can do for the person. Because ubetieti story nimu no, ubetieti nsem nimu ye no, na chese is beyond redemption. There is nothing that you can do to help the person. Na abroche so said the esitie no, se oye odihye kra na, o abrochira obeye obi akoa. Tina bika boss anyo no, baby dihye ebeye obi akoa. Se obi twumudi na se oni nkrata oye de kwa animu okwa animu mpa wasaka cho se oye abetwa watu ensem de ebi koso ewo kromu ano na edu ba bia you know so tough say there is nothing that you can do to help. Enti ye best repeat before say ubetu anamo no, seek advice from a competent person. Na ene ensema mede ba na no odin. And to the point he says, sebi, a drew baby mpoa. One kasano, you need to trust your instinct. It does not matter. Ese enipano, eye wukunu, anase eye wajiri. Share in every relationship, and the psychological crap. In every relationship, where you see two people, no, let me tell you this. You cannot have two people on the same level. So because a level in terms of dominance. So if you have two people who are dominant, there is always going to be tsunami clash. And in every relationship, believe in me, in order for there to be something in economics, they call hegemony. in order for there to be a bit of equilibrium, in order for there to be a bit of peace, one have to be the domineering or dominatrix, and one will have to be the subservient. Because if both of them have the same ego, I'm telling you, there's always going to be a problem. So the same thing happens in marital relationship. In every relationship, there's going to be one who is louder than the other. There is going to be the other who is quieter than the other. And there's going to be one who is maybe a bit more knowledgeable. And unfortunately, in most relationships, you are going to have someone who is more to-know than the other. That is a fact of life. And therefore, no, say only obi a relationship now say one can say what kind of creature on. Now who say nipa na oni ne wo no or ye too domineering. Remember what getting you say BBM no any nipa person also will get it to that level as him or her. You have to be very, very careful. Cases have come before us whereby a man or a woman is making sure say the partner no, is always doing what? Always having a limited leave. A limited leave. Say every time I saw Banakoji indefinite cry now no afa lie so oh there be won't qualify for indefinite. Eti ngamenye application ma na menye extension ma. Obaso sudo ni kuru nti ode na akoma na edo nti ode na akoma na edwini nti. De ni kuru beka bia wo semate mejitum. Eti tama address so apply for indefinite cry na oye extension. And this is a case it has come before me so many times. Now, for me, I wonder and I ask myself, say, I didn't know ebi mo yesa. So when him say oba and I say bema when ne to when I was yes wo dono. I didn't know person benya na sumpie no nya indefinite. Na de bia no ofa kwatiri kwaso. Na wo de there no. I say oh there be kwaji extension. E wa bra enipa so qualify for indefinite. I wonder. And same way as some abamanim so many times now they are many. I was say I come once because say you come once and you pass it on the knowledge. Hey, you be sisi bi musa. What's our room? And so now won't go soon. Now our bonnie, periphone kind. You say the chiame and the casa tintin. So who will be not our room na the casa wa? Busa who say a deity in a course. Emrepino, and in periphone be a papa and can any grade. And to so make us too much not our room, believe in me. So all find it a cure. Go into the marriage. Now be who says and same eshoba. And then ye be boom near be beam. And Timo more tardin na most a takra for any Cape Coast or more atuni in pa. And the technology tea yet we baby will be a tea free. And Titadi Twin City. And Timo ye chacham. More cost no more devil no more fan to one. Na justice and law, I want to empire. Justice and law, and na impurities in the war. I want a timetable in the war. I want to be a asumji. I want to agent because the woman and I yeka. The new hunu and ye dear noka. Sana ye justice and law you operate. And to build ya to a piano, more modern, namushe program no. Na ene dear baby, a chair de bia. More disc off also tuning in po muti. Must baby a movie ye chiachiamo. Kumasi fonso yomuti kumireka aha na bompata hene mechiachiao sana etie mampo ifo yi so ede atumpa omsusu etie saso na insutafo no so omso ede ayede atoa omutie pa na mpanifo kan bibi se insutafo didi mia na mamponfo asum ayede adwo mo enti insutafo ya chiachiamo obi ahye program no because ene de ba na no odin ene ade a obi eso so obeka no justice and law ye beka ye kofedi nyina aba sebe oni bema te wo na oba te wo na se edu indefinite no twetwe ne ho a wa kasa no eso tu hofo memfa akoma e make decision jusu adwene because unfortunately obi wo ha ni control owo any paper wa ya ma na se o ma benya indefinite na ne be pa obeda control bi em ontimi control bi em eye ade a nya yenim se ekoso ye fie enti no yemfantu ye hofo because at the end of the day no if you say obi enu a on pass nwie obi wo ha oboa enso no okun ene mpanimfo se fe no odumfu kunfo ono aso oboa ono soso a na okun obi soso a oboa se bedi nachi omo ase besa ne ho se nyame ye wodom nyankopon pagya wa baka se masa me boa ese bedi nachi ma mo ase besa me ho enti sa bra me chi biem na otwe mbo wachi ene fe se odumfu kumfo ono a aso odomo ono soso a na ayese okumu na enkrata semu de mehu bebrebe a enkrofo twitwa enkrofo 90 onim se ne yiri nie onim se ne kuru nie edru time so nya ne indefinite o se David don't apply for indefinite, apply for another extension or back with your English test and as a life in the UK test krana or so menye ehun hia afi no or application come fan come lawyer bia me ameyama wo ko de come lawyer wo tu sikegu no no atena fie fetchere instead of applying for indefinite no as I apply for extension abro any beyinti empeni for se bema enyim ewo he ewo santase etiene de bebubo ni nyina mu se o qualify ya wankase tu humfo se eso de koma o comedy for anase o lawyer bia fako na onye na wasum enjo very important because at the end of the day no sebi yese kwan no e wase de ye ewie ewo aboboa no saso na ekwan bia soso o start journey na of course you want to reach your destination and it's over start journey na se on reach your destination na chese journey no o start ye die entiene ye beka ho asem saso na ye beka 10-year route so be say o switch ever 5-year route as a parent and dear kwan na so fa so what are the requirements and no yenya ho questions be prepare na amanfo nye careful because se uti the mechanic na one kasa wo hwe o situation na wo hwe requirement na busa ho so qualifier na on qualifier me ko tu sika mu enkoye application na eye useless emfa so bia enye de emrew enti enne ye be hwe no ye be ka eno so ho asem se o qualify dia enye by all means you know why na empa de pa enne na intentem no afre justice and law solicitors na wo buku appointment na wa betena se na ye hu kwanya ye be fa so a ye be de ye betimi aboa very important. Mr. Ernest Tebri, thank you for joining us and good morning to you. Enti ene ensema ye de ebremu pani ye will send probate. Now this week interesting conversation. Obisi na say dina oye na will be 5 years no wuye. And I'm say yes. Hwe owuo nyakopon nim emra odi befru bia. Se ubewu na otwu mutan ene obewu. Se sana nyakopon ahyehya to ho a sana besi. Enya will a okwakoye ni beku. Eno de yemfa hye ya dwene mu ba. Na se owu ba. Na se obewu. Na so de ne tu nyame chekora na enspe no obewu. Na owuo ewo hoi. Edaho ema obia. The only thing guaranteed in life, and he said one day, we are all going to die. Ye can say atemuda beba, and after the judgment day beba, and you know, over millions of years. And ye can say beba, before say better said beba na crown, now there were still some people living before. And assassin, you know, sabi, arguably, na assassin that one, and say yakupun beba assassin. Because when we read the book of Genesis, or see the air force on that ship, and to be an air exists, it cannot be shapeless. And therefore, if we see it, never hold that. And then Yakupon ever been define. And then you see the good and the good. The God Almighty created the world. The world was already created. Never American, look at the logic from the Bible. Or say the world was there and the world was without shape. And see the book of Genesis. If the Bible is the ultimate truth, and that's how it is. That means he has never heard that. And saying Yakupon Sabu we are saying. And that in itself a contradiction. And one could argue, as a God shaped the world from the book of Genesis, arguably, because the world was already there. And saying Yakupon is created. But me feel said the word they should have used before God shaped the world, because the world was already there. And you know, you religious stuff in the channel, you put any program this one. And before sending me a text message, almost say they cannot find the program. And in Besabe Bonyumi na baby this year by City Boys Band. I don't know. Utie sanwumo ya utimi se ensem shim papa o se baby this year aba be ye baby akoa na susu awoi ensu adade da mantem no obi ehu a omfa buo ema sensu no esu sensu na ekobo ensu kese mu a ema de beye ensu kese a eso ba mfaso empo ema ebisa no a esa kogu pum a epo yenim ensu ene honhoma ehye enti abrochire ema sebe ebi mo emfa epuo mpo ema wobi o abrochire eyekura sebio oson sesen oba na afi no sebe obi mpo a yentu nipa ho nemum obi mpo a your intelligent level is more than that person no na wafa so ya akwa bi na wafa se uye bulu bi na wafa se uye jo bi na afi no ono pese uyusu na dwene edisisi approaching nsem ye candidate wonim bakofo akwa hu enye easy cause wo hwa kwanya nkrofo afa so bubi mo esisi bi mo oye de koka ye de enkrata net na kromu a obi wo ho a sebe enkrata wini nti obu sese wo de wo ye jimifo bia na so ya akwa bi because of enkrata nti na lo adaku mesi etire wo bi se ente ya ye nyai echese sosoa ye bebo ye homotin bia no bia woni bibia no ne sakeni me eno na motivate me every Saturday e ma me betina afidie yeso ekasa echirechire mrani mu any opportunity se da bodo mo a osu betini afaso na won sa kakrata ni bi ema obi bimpa ombu no also asha said the respect him ma eka obi nku a kenkrata ne ka wunya bi da me ekeseti mi amba manim obi a odi nua odi ne fi ma me baako efi papa baako otimi bia na no se wo nkrata no nya bi da na ba domi na no akese no adentia because onya nkrata ni bia sebio only benya power anaso benya no and therefore or make sure say enipa no enya nkrata ni bi saa de bia no aya akwa ama no famba ko school yese mami na we use nipa ne saa forever until say he can use the person no more na mfi se ewiase ni mpodie se wo use obi mpa wo de abu nipa no na ono so entimi enru baabi but tete no na mpedinfo se efie pete odi wonama epika enso 21st century die efie pete nya wonama obehwe asa bobon kase ni asa mmene kase na kan living with your enemy oni wo sere kwa enso so no dan weni a na ope downfall adentina eba ne sa eye power structure because in himself ni paper de bekem bia no you will shut up unya paper usu wotumi de beka no usu betimi aka bi eye ti bi befie panyin owom ne yi na to nchen adeya panyin ni paper ye kofia wontimi nkobi etini opinion doesn't matter na enkura ehia na omu make decision in the absence of opinion all because panyin any enkrata entia enso amabre mu de yesi panyin edware wia na efie enso asa regardless of what panyin enso di buuma panyin enso enemremu eyetumi eni sika power eni sika ana enipa edi make decisions enti wo ye panyin na so ni nkrata kra ye fabuoma wo ye panyin na ni sika kra ye fabuoma because we be culture say money talks. Yes, money talks, but for how long? How far can money talk? Sabi so we skase nyame so hiame sen obi ani edi ne di echi obi aso do ne die enti ene esme ba be kana no odin example said be ma no odin na ye tie na supreme a me fi se ebeboae enkrata uwu a omfanko British passport uwu a omfanko nemom dignity any legacy I will be jatu ono very 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 important enti ene before I start the program once a month for send me text pa mamemfa enwumi entwem na yedi twam wi a na yaba de wo bia ne beka examples any some aba benim some amati me be examples na ye nyina no yetimi asua bibi afrim mema wadwene enye wo say ebia bema woni neti anasa oba de neti obese unya wo indefinite eno de to wadwene ewiase who approach bibia approach it with open mind as anything is possible so when you jire anasa no kunu ono boyfriend ti wo na so ka asem bi na fi sa asem no emwa wa kasafa ho adwene because any wiase no unfortunately any relationship there is a power struggle no you feel be soft power and you feel be hard power now soft power no a lot of people don't see it because it's done in a discreet manner it is done in such a way say one dwene na so wadwene ama wo so a onyintu ese ade ni isi obi wo ho a oti relationship ma oti na koma na edwene oti na koma na edo ewiase everybody parts has got a function yedi yetini adwene na edwene enye akoma so do akoma ko dwene attend there be mistake because your heart will be telling you something and your head will be saying something else like Bob Marley said osi ohu oba no na akoma eche ne say on falling through but odwene ho a what say yes you need to think and a very very important as a approach situation biana we need to step back from our shell and we have to be objective about it. We should not be consumed by what is in our head or what we want to think. Because unfortunately, almost indefinite time also. But on partners, I said they should go for an extension because they don't qualify for indefinite. It's had no indefinite. And you funny and support and send me the baby. Yeah, take some pee. If you are but you know what is going on. You can see because experience teaches wisdom. You know, over 21 years in this profession, trust me. You know, human psychology, we see a lot of things. If you don't have to open your mouth. I look at your face, I look at the way you are going around about your story, and I could see exactly what's going on behind closed doors. But for me, if you don't tell me, I don't know. Period. So, very important. I said, yeah, I say, and it is all catch your partner, say, or time so indefinite. Now, what insist, no. We said, look, then let's go and seek legal advice. Still, say, or resist it, and answer or insist, no. You need to be able to advise yourself. Because one ye, obedience, obey acquire in a relationship for the rest of your life. Because it's a tool of operation. It's a manipulative tool. Where every time I want such a piano, they be any control. Obe control was unfortunately, that is how it is. Now, who said the Ebimu say manipulating Crawford, control Crawford because of people in here. Yes, sad. Say, see, I'm media make us say, Obi friend, the same thing or the Winipa. Control, sir, manipulation. It's my decided saying, Pancramin and Casabi. Obi, you are my client in Enka, now my client in Bravo, because I are too much. People need to control Nipa. Now, if we are saying, I am showing maybe because at the end of the day, no, Sebio, and yet the Biana Obi Bayakwa. Jew for Bayam Kwa Egypt and lasted long. Yen ya number before I don't call America man so munkosom and lasted long. Now if we are saying that bed and I say a bako sin meresay and attempt the other person will be Yawakwa. Every the person will break from their oppression, from their chains of manipulation. And whether you like it or not, that day will come. And people shall overcome. And today, Justice and Law Solicitors, we are going to make sure that enslaved, that Wishibono, you will overcome. And you will come out of that slavery. Because so much is going on, and it's an instrument of manipulation, and people are manipulating people. Let's play this tune again, and when we come back by all means, we will continue the program. Share program, no, say, oh, share ya, na, a month for so, inya be, inya EBNT. Ye try a more basisia.
my goodness, you. Baby, this year, no more than baby, aqua. Obinim no sane kete wa benkwe. Susan we responding this year. If you ina so bufa baby, my goodness, you. Baby, this year, no more than baby, aqua. Obinim no sane kete wa benkwe. Susan we responding this year. If you not so good for baby, I'm moving a silver. As you see, Sonny, and so be a have to support him. They will make less to sobre. Now, say, so yeah, you will go up and ten on your bed and see your son. Yes, I'm sending a baby, I'm moving a silver. And I'm baby, and I'm you again. To say, Tintia, back of us one team. You dress one team on soil and one team this year. Susan, we rest one team this year. If you're not so good for baby, I'm moving and still fly. Baby, this year, no more than baby, aqua. Obinim no sane kete wa benkwe. Susan we responding this year. If you not so good for baby, I'm moving a silver.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, that's a program now. Let's talk about the 10-year route to settlement first. Now, 20-year route to settlement first, because there has been a lot of misunderstanding as to the type of visa and profit me apply for. Now, interestingly, and necessarily, and I said this year, any 10 years you did 10-year route to settlement now, as also a buy Theresa May back in 2012. And now we introduce 10-year route to settlement. The whole idea of 10-year route to settlement, actually said, se utimi etene kromu a continuously na se at all times ukita visa na breachi immigration rules no for 10 years and you can make an application for indefinite leave to remain and also settlement status under paragraph 276B of the immigration rules. Enti eno yen shane so. Enchere say what na kromo 10 years ubetimi akwakoji indefinite. The key ne say what na kromo lawfully. Ne ka say lawful residence any de baade. Lawful residence no actually say within the last 10 years no all that time ni nyina no na ukita a valid visa. Enti no se wonim se won enkasa no obe kromu ano ebia o de visitors visa ne bae ana wado asuko akwakoshe ensu ase adane ensu oba na se 10 years aba eno no unqualify for indefinite under the 10-year route no adenti na etisa because the residency no must be a lawful residence. And a lawful residence so no medical actually mu say e was a over visa at all times. And you know, for example, me free Ashtown Abonten so Abis Park Abranti maba ohima krum me ba no me de abia student visa ne buy me sit me ba University of Abia East London ana me di be realm no ana ebia mikoshia obabi oba no ya friend brebre eti mikoshia brebre ana brebre ekofa efuro brebre ekita enkrata eti brebre ekita efuro a okita enkrata no mene brebre wo ye no ana yekofre ye bayi amane enti no ashta wa brantie maba ohima krum abehia brebre mene brebre akowo amane enti abaya ne sa no school yi so mentimi anko because hustle enimema ye den enti abane sa na se mene brebre awo amane a brebre kita ekromu ankrata se ye wo a ye ba no amane no onti betimi agi ekromu ankrata amam enti se mesuso no mentimi anko school no menkrata yi yetwam anase enye adwuma biem enti abane sa na ubehu obi ti saba ya daako a obefa humanitarian grounds ayede a fight ama wososo no wanya enkrata a ye friend bus 250 enti se nya bus 250 a mesi we de mebo ho ban na mene amane sabio ye hihon kakra me ba brebre so many one ho me hwe brebre kama me 2.5 years bus 250 eba bebu no me send another application atum masenya another bus 250 ebi eba bebu no me send another 250 atum masenya bus 250 ebi me send bi ma atum eti me twa 10 years lawful residence because me the student visa buy no me buy no and I be changing here into parent visa. Eti me nyetwa 10 years e dia emremu no a lawful residence. Eti because of brebre because she no ekwo wa mane enti ama say Ashton Abranti me so menya meti assign meti ama say no me se menya no menya hwene me di bose ama say my guy me communicate sem ne abem me se menya nkrata ni bi enti no sana etie. In that case, you know, say 10 years next one, because of some Martina Cromwell with a visa for 10 years, you know, and then you find a lawful residence. Say a swan, meeting apply for indefinite. Now, Mesaka indefinite now, no, maybe the Chisumpo, meeting apply for British citizenship because I have had 10 years lawful residence in the UK. Tibinia Cromwell Kratane, the name to say, mene immigration, any assembly. Provided they say mehwe me husuye me nko di boni bi e ma ye metwa me citizenship ni mo On the other hand, you know, ebia me free Ashton Bontin soba. Me the student visa de buy. Me buy, you know. Me nyeske school fees and man ko yi. Manya lucky, man ko shia brebre, and my man ko wo e buy fe na money. Enti no, my Danny hustler. Kwaku the hustler. Me buy so no. Obi kan ye. My FUCK. And Blacker Becker. Also, who never has seen the air? No one. And to me, so no, anyone go ye. And to therefore, my door to go. And to say, me doors to go for 10 years, I don't just me qualify you. Because me need lawful residence. And to my door to go for a few, do no. And read, I was saying, they say, just a medi and fear a dionum. Anna, so 20 a dionum. Yes, I said, but I won't find champion. It is about 20 years a year. And here, and no dear, I can apply for 2.5 years, for 2.5 years, for 2.5 years, for 2.5 years, 4 times. Timinya 10 years lawful residence, and send me to apply for indefinite. It is a same impo since 2012. So what in a chromwa for 20 years, you are indefinite. And you have found you about 2.5 years visa. The 2.5 years visa, no? Another 2.5, another 2.5, another 2.5 for 10 years. And send away to me apply for indefinite. And also so yemfa into your tree. Until the summer for 20 years, you no longer qualify for indefinite. You qualify for 2.5 years. Until yemfa into your tree. And 20 years lawful residence, no. Now 10 years lawful residence, no. Another and then me person you go through Home Office guidelines. So what are 10 years impo? Now say more indefinite. What are the requirements? And no, and then me person you come once because yenyanum bebre and I say yenyanum p. From this year, they qualify for indefinite after completion of 10 years lawful residence. Because 10 years lawful residence, it was introduced in 2012 by the then Home Secretary, Madam Theresa May. Mr. Richmond Asamoah, baby, I will be a church a long time ago. Meaning say, Mebusian Fono, Ubia Ehoye, and I say, oh, Chile so. Yes, Sana Etie. I don't know, say, Sana money or one yen share requirement. Idea, a was a uye, and some 10 years ago, Uchavia. Yet me the indefinite idea amount. Nana and Kofofi said at that form, Obi Owa, Okaso. Now, say first 2.5 years, the amount, the rest of it, you don't need a lawyer. Wakoye wadi. A chromwa. And Bradima Aquine, I met me the UPBR. As long as I say a mumraso, or as long as I say you know what you are doing, and you're very, very important. Now, over the last couple of weeks, my received telephone calls via. I don't know what those people were thinking. And then very example, I'm a sebe. I'm on for so 80 Now, if you are so beyond any choice, once you make that choice, once you make that decision, you also have to be prepared to live with the consequences, whether right or wrong. Whilst you have the right and you have the choice to do whatever you want, you also have to be responsible. You have to take on the responsibility of the outcome of that choice or that decision. And also so no, you make a decision via your phone call. About 2 weeks ago, I had someone calling me because the workplace was threatening to sack him. Now, offer officer, a small kind of say, Lawyer Dako is my lawyer. I need to come and see him. And obviously, the secretary had to interrogate him a bit. I said, what is this about? Nah, about this, I so what I say, justice and law, and an application. ento person be who lawyer because edwuma for person bo pa no. Fair enough. Secretary business application in the code abey. After so there be first application mo na mo de call ye in 2019. And obusa ne say na application o kan ho asem wo say e call ye in 2022 no. Ye de call ye na or see baby. Interesting conversation. I said, but you are my lawyers. I'm also okay, fair enough. And today, I'm a person lawyer, a man. Oh, me person lawyer, actual letter, come a human for ne was say. My application, a home office, until I have the right to work. Now, secretary beside say, now, for application, na anko no. So they call baby, so one year what you. How do we know say application na e yampa say eco home office? Or say oh ade mo person be boami ana. Have a topic na change. Until na appear say there was a bit of an argument. Until the end now I had to call the person back and explain to the person say enye ye the application me call ye no. Yentimi enko gina your employers will say yeah the application eco home office. We can never do that. Why? Because our credibility is at stake. When I was what they call, how do I know? How can I guarantee? I said, I am passing what they call. Say, you mean they call you mean to me this hard dance, you know. Say, they call you there. We can fight for you. I say, they call you and we can be responsible for it. Name one kasa what you want for baby, then one basava. Aden ana ye na yemfa yeti sebe enko sign ma aden na sebe obi enko di ni meko na aboa kotere ana meti hu fifire se sign tie de a yentimi nya sa de no sebe mpanimfo se brebre ama anka mane so ama se ka ye na nke de ko ya anke betime defend enye ye na ye de ko ye di nti yentimi defend enti baby a wo de call ye no ene ebesere opi fa call no mun defend ma sesi american baby ni pande ko fa ni pande kra nye lawyer ya pam ni pande so meti na fie nyansa bebrebe no no sanko na ka betu ama lawyer da akọ kakra ye bedi enti sesi ya pam wo sa beti na fie no home office I say human rights application right now it take 11 months to make decisions. And you say it be taking 11 months for them to make decision. Na se bi onyansa bebrebe no. What you about betting you know? O betting for 6-7 months. Na say you are not earning any income. How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to look after your children? How are you going to earn any money? Enti adwuma wo ye. Na so de yemfa ne say every month be ampo no say twa 800 pounds. Say u betre fie 6 months. 8 times 6 years saying. So 8 times 6 years saying. We'll lose you out big time. 800 pounds. What you times 5 for crowd? 4,000 pounds you are going to lose that money. And he said, how the ball ya dark mo? I know charge you kakra bimpa. Can we do 4,000 no? Anka Andrew. 1 years he said you wanna cry the best bawaka. And you know, edu baby yen thinking about long term. Adia edi asumdwe ege ebebre. Because they say home office, it takes them 11 months to make a decision. And untino say ubehu do ya biti say ya dako na say do application kwa. Na say adwuma mu mpo ensem eba ho a. Yen jawo ekwantifi. Ye be fight ama. Say dia betimi keep wo job. Because say yen ye dey call ya. Yen ka say yesi. Ye be ka say me see application in home office. Opa check it. You betimi asa kire employer no ekwan be fa so a ombetimi aye their checks at the home office. Said they also be nya wasundwie. Na mom menya wadwene say ube save usika na so be tight. Na emom asamba dia o se ba da ko we me lawyer enti kokko sa ntokwa ne mame unfortunately sa fight no yentimi enkoma because se enya me na me de call ye no me ntimi nkogina wo se me na de call ye. Because at the end of the day, no, we also have reputation to protect. And to mess up, so we take this action, and that's in Bahua. Obe Fremia, and Yadia meeting me up, I was our quan so. And yes, a beer, bar one farm money, or Anna Emma may react, sir. Name boom, a matter of principle. Said the young Mrs. make it for me dignity. Because anyway, as I am, obit me of fake documents, which now winning, and original, you cannot tell the difference. And you know, you find yourself fake. Now with the abandon your dark makojina wo came go so that's why the application called boom 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 boom. That's a faker. Ufi said next time. Say obu a genuine case I could call I go back. Do you think they will listen? They will not listen. And you know, very, very important. I said dear yeni emu yeno yentimi kodi ho adanse. Nemom de yakase ya yeni de ho ba asema and the two for nail you will fight until say employer not here. And so many people will testify to this. Video crowd. Be send they say, my memory video ni now they me para ebema. Ye mamu kwine ama musmeti yamba video ni mu. And you saw so offer crowd number live on air. Ebi and create me started. You bet me video call. Now also let me abem. Now their contribution hour. Any questions hour. Also let me idea. Afre through Facebook. Now also so no let me account. Or dear I was say okay. And you know, say what's your criminal law for 10 years, sir? Now, oh yeah, application for indefinite. Yes, you have to do chargeable application. Application, oh yeah, ubitia, valid. And very important. Say, oh, application for indefinite, you have to complete the right forms. Because oh, could complete the wrong form, unfortunately, ubenya extension as opposed to indefinite. And you know, you are duty bound to do what? To make sure, say, why application for indefinite, why the right application, or the right application form. So there are also two, a chargeable application, and therefore you have to pay the right fees. The fees now right now is about £2,404. You don't pay NHS fees, IFN immigration health surcharge fees, untia. And also no application here, also making sure say suitability test you qualify. I.e. suitability test has got to do with criminal record. Make sure say only criminal record biana yen spending now no you find the Rehabilitation of the Offenders Act. There are certain criminal offenses beyond after a passage of certain time, it is deemed to be spent. It is deemed to be spent. And therefore, for example, yama fine, ebia wako drive yama road traffic fine. And after 3 years, it's called spent. And therefore, under Rehabilitation of the Offenders Act, it is deemed say a chem. And sana way example. And the application and ya you do be gidi require. Now also making sure say there are certain ingredients, certain requirements also making sure say you can satisfy. And you can say obisoso I have 10 years lawful residence and no ehun be here a pa ese obeti the definition of lawful residence. So there hasn't been a break. Obi owa obetena wa manifest during the course of the 10 years and send okwa renew. And no emwa see American you will cases be a court of appeal. On one hand, almost say if the break, less than 14 days, less than 28 days, you can be forgiven. And therefore, no apply for indefinite. I see the amount. Case because if there's a break in one, they can use it against you. But Home Office have a discretion. And very, very important. As such application, Nasa Unim said there is a breaker. Get a skillful lawyer to be able to put in mitigation, explain what brought about the gap. Said the obetimi I explaining the year ama ososo at all. Time I explaining in prison and it is not counted as part of the 10 years lawful residence. Enti yensha. Now 10 years residence this is as a pass life in the UK test. Now life in the UK test now akoye test bi akoye say obunsam. na otwen ematam ne so a agro bediu men twen ematam ne so na akasa wo kwa akoye test no hwe nyame kra Jesus enso hwe kra wo mpe obi enu open so hwe tam Jesus e baaye a wo so nyame ba obosam ka chere se so ni nyame ba na eni eto wo ho every mountains yi mu na kotofom na yenhwe so be survive wa edi na Jesus ka chere no mo muri Bible mu no mo nchiro nto woni enko Jesus e ka chere se vansa sadi we pa de menye na Jesus ka na babuom e chere ne se wo ye nyame ba na nche se bibia na se okoso nyame hwe enti e very very important e se ye beti sa nyama na si yi enti ne de me metimi aka ne se e wo se ye ti ne ma bi ase in the sense se yanti ne ma bi ase a emoaye men twen e mata mo ne nso anu aka se me kwa akoye test no hwe enso hwe enye adepa obi enu a open so hwe obi enu open so hwe obi oso open so hwe bia no I can challenge the person saying paneboa. Who wants to be tested? Nobody wants to be tested. Now sometimes it becomes, what do we call it? Relevant. As you have to go through the process. And so you'll be able to pay. And you know the mechanic say, the mechanic and then they say, and social would him say I was away. Would him say 10 years and air back up. Would him say I saw applying for indefinite. Men can say medium need time. Medium need time. Oh yes, I know. Time when this one is up for your test now. True pressure. Adie no unimu kra na ubehun sade untimi enye adie no. Enti eba de sana wa akasa no untimi kyerɛw. Enti de betimi aka ne say test no ententem na wa ye ne ntem. Kwami nyante wose me kokra. Say aka 2 years impo na wodim say so ye test na. Life in the UK test no. And no, a so what do we call it? Deadline behind so. And therefore, no, you have no reason to sit there and wait until say the time is up and send a one pew. As a your test no. And to your testing in tema, and there's some Gabriel, and my own pass it at ease. Because say what time in this one, and no the pressure. Adia no wouldn't say a what tiki a. Uye mutimi show no change answer no so akọ any bi uye ni bi na no nim pass be wrong and so na o tiki bi eye ade a ano e den pa eye ade a e ha adwene because pressure etimi ma enkrofo edi nsimhunu ehia wo ehia eye pressure ananim say ehia wa na fa to nsem keka enti eno no ye fa nko adwendwene mu English test no I know they normally is valid for only 2 years. And therefore, no other English test so anything. And no a can be about 1 year crown and wire to. Not 6 months crown and wire to. Because who him say within 6 months, I say within 1 year, no. Oba your application. Say it's valid for 2 years crown. Obeti your application, no. Ama odiaye, ama any day asumdue idea April. Tiabasremo a tester men train ana ene echina men yese aboa kokosechi besu ebesi ni dan a odinanu na esi odinanu su besi a gise ensu oto akokosechi osede besi medai na sebio mpenifo so kan sem bi se aboa koto oni kutufufu nini futuku dina kra between money futuku konini omo free abusia ba komo enso so omo ensere afikrum obi etimi etwen 2 days no akwakoye no apase obi timi twen 1 day no akwaye no apase se obi ka cho se me de me twen ya 2 days ankoye ya menfa wo en compare se nipa no because if we are saying obiane ne shebre you have to know yourself. Me kwakumeti I can work very hard under pressure. Meet me Kenya send a deadline. I can kill myself and meet the deadline today. if I am unable to do it beforehand. Pressure, no? Can you work under that pressure? One kasano, you need to know yourself. If you can do things well before the deadline, is the better way. And it's the best way to approach any situation. But sometimes no circumstances do not allow, permit someone to do that. Me personally, I know myself. If at all possible, I will do things well beforehand. But if it has not been possible, believe in me, I'm not afraid of deadline and I'm not afraid of pressure. Because circumstances have made me who I am. I am able to work last minute to achieve deadlines. But the question is, ask yourself, can you take that pressure? Say, if I can do that, that does not mean say Obiane said you sit here. Obiane said yes, no. Obiane want to be pressure. When pressure comes, they crack. But for me, when pressure comes, I strive. Because I know that is the target. And regardless, the target must be met. And if I have to forgo my sleep, if I have to forgo everything, and give it 100% concentration, I am able to do that. But is it a good way of doing things? No. Because why do I have to subject myself to this intense pressure? If I can avoid it, by all means I'll avoid it. But where I'm unable to avoid it, I have to be prepared to make that sacrifice and deal with the pressure. So you need to ask yourself, are you that type of person? If the answer is no, you start today. Don't wait until the time is up before you put in or before you do the test. Do it as fast as you can so that you can get rid of it as fast as you can. So that when the time comes for you to do the application, you can then do the application. So the requirement is not that very, very tough. All that you have to do is to prove that you have had 10 years continuous residency in the UK and that the residency is what do we call it, lawful residency in the UK. You don't have any serious criminal record for the past 10 years or since you were granted the leave to remain. And even if you have any criminal record, you would have spent that criminal record. If you want to count 10 years leave that you have resided in the UK as a family member of an European national, once again, UK Border Agency have a discretion in which a time that you have spent in the UK as a EEA family member can also be counted. But that one, you need to prove that the EEA family member was exercising treaty right in respect to the time that you want to be counted as part of your lawful residence in the UK. So a typical example, maybe you were married to Nana Jankroma the first Akosia. What did they worry, Nana Jankroma EEA na mo worry ebia bibinti aware no egu mo worry 2012 and I am 5 years EEA residency card. 2017 asemusi ama one Nana Jankroma ejai mujaye no so no for whatever reason went to qualify on the basis of retention okrata na abeye live nemom ono ba foforo ko wo ono ba ne wo ye no obenikita British passport enti o switch to 2.5 years enti work 5 years no as a parent of a British child in that case Mrani said you can apply under the 10-year route provided that you can prove say Ojira worry here and also about worry nefen Nana Jankroma the first at the time of the application waiting prove say now or SIC treaty right for 5 years and any worry ye ni na and switch it back 2.5 years so you have continued to be part of Obani life under the British immigration rules and Obani sana utimi combine sa 5 years now to make up the 10 years now with akwakoje your indefinite leave to remain. It is Hannah and also Eddie Etie. Entino, so we catch will say what's in a krumua for 10 years, and therefore you qualify for indefinite. Mesrepi, say the message muno, and yes, Anna etie. Anna ekrofo eka ne trasa. One shey obeko na obi akodusika. Na wadini free. Afi ebeba no na ebia enyema ankoye ama. Enti the here say you have to be a desirable person. Enti unyobia ohunwa asem unyobia ye too controversial, and we need to demonstrate to say your presence in the UK will not be against public good. Enti therefore no we need to prove we say you will add something to the system, and therefore you are valuable to the process and to the system and to your community. Enti 10-year route to settlement no sana etie. Nemom se utimi edo asuko na wutwa 20 years dia eno dia abayne kan say emo 2.5 years. And he said by virtue say wutwa 10 years no, that does not enable you, or that does not put you in the eligibility requirement to get your indefinite leave to remain. And ene eno na meka ho asema bi de besi anamo. Now you take a quick commercial break here, but you're switching from 10-year route to 5-year route as a parent, or 10-year route to 5-year route as a partner, or 10-year route to 5-year route as a spouse. Nina Becca Wasim. Na a quantity de da honomo, ofa quanisuya and woodru, na one fasuya, and shana quacoye and boy benign. And you take a break, Yanko Paradise City. You don't munkodin como, na Yanko Kowa Mischa. Nyanko Justice and Law Solicitors. Ye ba na yedi jumedi no ahyehyɛ so. Boss lady, baby I will be a chiachao. Yami enka na onchirao. Elizabeth was baby I will be a chiachao. As we tune in, na wutie the voice of reason, the voice of the legal gospel, Justice and Law Solicitors, Lawyer Darko. Mina yedi jumedi Abraham ene anobei. Baby I will be a no ye chiachao. Ye damase SMH program no mugusu amo share. Enti what betu obi asoso no na wa share amaye. Mr. Gordon Hene also baby will be a chiachia. Me mese wo call enra na me boa na se kwambe ma me frel. Enti now by all means yes sana etie. Eye oja saso na 2 and 5-year-olds say open nursery ama wo mo a na no ane say obe contact Little Green Nurseries e wo Clapham Junction. So omo ebo mo modern papa. Omo give you all the children the best foundation years. Said ya omunyina ombabeye empeni pa na ometinya som omomai ti Little Green Nurseries muso ye church mo baby ti na ma hwimi green a mediti ha no no oni se yakase bibi ye green a green ejina oma de plantation green eye life, and you know without grass, without green there can be no life. It soak up the oxygen, it soak up the carbohydrate, CO2, carbon dioxide. Now I bring it out oxygen. It's oxygen, and so now you breathe it, you survival on this planet. And it's always about a survival. And when I say Little Green, and a day, may they come for Amamo, may they almost link as so ever to comment section hormone. Ye chat adverti, na she say, Bibia so edda baby. Mr. Benjamin Opoku was on the lawyer, no size, lawyer Bakupe. Maybe I will be a church, Ebusiafoni na so ye chia omo nyina. Enti o de to a na wa share program na ye maye. Ye say one share a day will keep ignorance away. Ene ampaya ye de ebedwa. Ye ko Paradise City na ye ntie do mo de bre.
Who send ya wo bet my music? Say yes. Megafo, we yamanka wow wo die papa bi e wo Ghana na. Enso enam no kra asanti no. Who send ya wo bet my music? Say yes ye wachima. Enti na ye ne Paradise City. Ya did this beautiful ultramodern city Abatema Community 25. Who standard executive, semi-executive quality buildings. Ye ne Paradise City. Ye wo homa. It starts ye di approach Ghana. Your payment terms no so. And a phone book call. Open your self-finance and as a mortgage. Paradise City. Oh, your telephone numbers use UK +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Ye juma pa magana yefe ankasa.
Saturday Paradise City for na yeti omonkano yenko so na yenko kowa mixture hidom so de
Miniaba eni ma medusi o ye dmo dukisi anopa biara miniaba sori ahodi mu no kwadu on complaining that tell me bitutu no sanso na me bra o fitani o tu engine no o peja engine be kai duma sani sitie da biara no wo den mi ameye o store mo adi ni twa me yire ensori anopa enka se na nia ha anase no mo ye ne mreda sadam papa ne fia konkan ono so complaining that tell me bia ne ya o sori anopa na no afanse kan no okonefu me akrobato madwuma meye me kan na me ate na me komeba biara no bra me de bedampo na adiase nanso men sorry da ko kranka se ne hu ba bia me ya ne nyina gya se yo secret awintasem eya dura e de boy ho ba ne nyina ni kowa me shakuani eya dura wonom a ebo ni padua no e ma osi pi osi ta me kanfo ama o se wonso no no kowa me sani ne ba boa na abo ni obusia ne yare da ho eya nunum bi na obedia danse
Wayuki obenya kwa mixture e wo Ghana Market, the heart of Africa, ground floor, shop number 138, Church Road, Nisden, London. Obetumi afre 07514 433 148 and as 07464 636 604.
kowa mesha abusia awintasem miniam
That God has a covenant with you. Therefore, you shall never be put to shame.
Onyada for how any say and a wooing. Justice and law solicitor said, Omadiana brand and your mumedi home come up on the mouth and futu. Na say idea say to one more on the bow no to one more. And your immigration and answer nationality problems. Say your student application, family independent application. So pass it now, Kroma, and now shall lawyer be no jina one name or court amount. Personal injury claims. Say your employment, landlord and tenant issue or housing issue, family and divorce issues. Drafting legal document, will writing, renting and leasing shop, lease extension. Obina juicy cannot persuade him out. And you near Kawakuma to him now how you know to a trap. But what the any justice and law solicitors for Nkasa 07538969589 and I say 0207-738-5841. But what the Fred justice and law solicitors na ye kwanya ye be faso ye be wow. Obe home ewo Unit 35 Eurolink Business Center 49 Efra Road Brixton SW21EZ. Like I said, we have Victoria Line to Bristol. Bars 2 337 415 432 689 690. Siwa St. Andrew's Church Pastor. Sema Emra Semodia baby here any justice and law solicitors.
That God has a covenant with you. Therefore, you
Mami wa young mama. Sana majawasi yao. Ajili yesu mama brother sister. Ena tumuona.
Unia, nyame adomboko, nyame akwase. Nyame de so onim. Party na la so be fa me ko e. Abaya bi ko hia. Nsa abaya se nya nkrata ma no. And I get into you. Na wish abaya ma party asi ya so nya nkrata ma. I'm so be bopping. Why? Me de me no. Ya we din. What's up, Bumbi? It be efficacy of kote to go.
Ejawo.
Ko unia. Da unia na bopu me yakoma atu.
Nana majira French album na dada na mbezo mbebi.
What you yakoma ni su nyina ye fi ho because efficacy for.
Na ada mote ya mo ntwa na moda so tefi hai.
Now you only me kan chiro. E na unia so koye ngata ma obi yo. Me dem so oye oke kura.
Yo. Mesemo pi ewi ase de obi e no ho chi for asempa kodo enemre mu so de obi e no ho betena ho ama ta bada ho so owon kame enu ti misrew se bank krata asem kwan de a na se wuni krata wo krom ha na wunya krata misrew adwuma ba ko pe e na make am for amount enu ane justice and law solicitors lawyer ye fe no obeda ku David ho e na owo never immigration sem landlords and tenants family legal documents civil litigation wills
and afe employment issues a ni nyina papa odi hu dwuma e wo ho na mesra mo maba betu mu ne America tira mu momfa mo maboso mu tom
na na wo kan papa yo timi akonto kwa nyina ma ye se dia obi agi usika ndo on be so betu ani so e wotimi ekwa dwum
ni nyina lawyer Obenda akudi ni nyina hu dwuma na ne aye mani ka awon ho ne se wo ye ntokotwan se ba mra mu dia so wo je wasebe so onwie ya papa ye onyini nsa emfrase
pacho hefa no ase na so wo no
yo me pacho obehunu justice and law for ewo unit 35 Hero Link Business Center 49 Efra Road Preston SW2 1BZ na the telephone number any 02077385841 and I say the mobile number 07538969589 Mr. and then they said the migration policy and your blue room had share and one travel armor and perform now quiet. It's the free no crowd here. Found cats as a justice and law solicitors.
Hey, Oja, also since you want the way you are on idea, see, I feel my idea of coffee.
And then she Penisi will finance up of a bad and I'm saying lawyer Benda ko apaton ho so be boa yen Ghana 43 wunti memne da bia e free anopadu ba ko ekobo awia donko lawyer etna afidia e Fire Life Radio so exercise memrem e wo ho enti e free memne da e be ne memne da ka bia na for fidie ne to Fire Life Radio na tie lawyer ene emrem nsem e wo ho ti free na radio justice and law solicitors na ba ne e be pro
Yeah, yes, I ababiem. The next topic I become wasem a switching from 10-year route. I say the advert is funny pa. Mami Abigail, sa ne koso okrumwa. Uko sha obi a obi dwana num. I was born here. Sa I was born here for no. Obeka cho say we no okrumwa. Nto nyaka sa asem ne pe. Na wadi kan wura wadwini because obi aya woni ade by extension o won krata na wan hwe yie na obanyim ewia o na be hu se wood kra woni bi ana akonya nkrata afi no na akoye nsempi enti no eye ensem a ekoso pa ewu kromu ano na me de sasem we betwam kwa na yemfa nsere kakra obi asem na because of confidentiality it means me get too much osiki advice and the answer was say owo na survive British dia bi yan krata ono suko shia obabi e wo party bi ase ento no ko na agenda ni say okofo obo wo krata na sinyame na dom na se fa na se baba mudia ono so benya nkrata ni bi ento okoye no a okohia oba no ono oba ne kasa no oba ne so gitu mu because oba ne so yes smart e fa kwam so bisa na question e mo no so dwa nanum so nkrata oba ni ni bi be me ni bi na we no oba ne fa furu ano mo ko hospital se si de nim say hospital omo nyina so da ni immigration officers udru wa o paper wo he enti e buso oba ne say o paper wo he no also one day ne paper no agya no ofie tini kru ni nyi ne passport ni na no mfa nkyere no mo ntwi mfam obusa ni kru so a paper wo he was video home office nya mai na kyere say ayeka oba ni bi be mani ni bi enti omo ba so mbe wo no ono so ni bi enti no enumdwane de ye common ya de a ekoso pa na obi okrom so bebusa ni enti o share wa I was born here enti by extension na ya woni hane de wadwene be yo say ebi okita nkrata enti won say ekire no obehwe no na ebi a onkita bi obi kura timi hia o so meye bi ama enso so no na onteda mi ankasa asem bi ba manim a oba ne be hu me na so okay se be mani obi dia ene ebeyese oba so wo bi oba 1957 kwame nkruma na de ne be kromu a e kan sem bi papa nkofa ne nkrata na ne fanya application da ne mo anan oni bi all these years entino ewiase no aya na enye emretintin a obi atena kromu ache ana eje so won krata yesi upusu dunu a ana ate ne kankan se wo bia wo fantu no fa nkomra ne enhwe enti trick o me say obi so wo bia wo di twate kitima no aeroplane o do so nko France mara se otimi koba de ha e na chesu kita bibi no so twetwe ne ho de ya na kire sa asem hye wo yesi ema ebekum mema na entuma ekata ade so yanko yanim enti no enye obi okasa emu bibia na mo obi anumdwade obi atimi dwabi sana tie melada akodu ambetina bitimi dwam ana mafili na mkom baby sana etie anumdwade obi animdwa na emom yesi upusu nunu ana ate de kankan eti sana etie enti yanko yanim parent route switching to 5-year parent route. Who can apply? That is the question. What is the parent route? And does Justice and Law Solicitors help people to apply for 5-year parent route? The eligibility requirement. Switching from spouse and partner visa. Whether they do priority service, English language requirement. And even where applications has been refused. Can we help you? Yes, we can. Parent route visa no a route and I say a visa. It is there for a parent of a British child. It is a parent, mama, papa. Nasa oba a British, you no kita British passport wa. Nasa uye parent to the child and you ubetini aye de ubetini aye sa application no. Entino sa application so betini aye jise ukita existing visa enye visitors visa yenti ni ba. Enti so kita visitors visa for 6 months. Now be rem now so per 5-year parent route a no go, don't do it. You'll be refused. Now you can apply on a 10-year route, even so the visitors visa now back. That is the difference. Yenti nipa. Ebia oba ekita British passport. Only applying in England or I say Britain for holidays. Ebia bibinti umbese obeko back. And 2% nobody in Atina Chromo anamo. Now we are there, now we are asetina. So we are 10-year route na kita visitors visa no problem. But ukita visitors visa no man ko ye 5-year route ye mfama emra eda ho no. Don't ask me why. Sana etie. Enti de wetin aka ne say ukita visitors visa ana say uye overstayer ana say uni visa na say oba eye Britisher. Forget the 5-year route, apply for 10-year route, you are likely to get it than not. Now emom say uwonyina so na ukita any type of visa apart from visitors visa, you can change to 5-year route as a parent. And yamfa de say uti kromwa uni visa na so visa wu nyamya ya wadom wakoshia brebre woni brebre akwo amane kita British passport eye wo ba. Since I say uni visa bia no ukoye 5-year route na yamfa ma enti gi so ukoye 10-year route no na unya 2.5 years new year wako switch aba 5-year route. That is how to get around it. And to say we apply for 5-year route now, and who can be any saying, and dear Neso to me satisfy and send when you what you call 5-year route, you know, and when you find eligibility requirement, you know, and when you become worse. Now, in order to succeed in changing to a 5-year route, you know, you the parent, you know, ahana yenti niepa. Now, emripi, you know, won't mean for one sabunkum any on 75 any sebe. So why say me nya kwame wusu na say udu fufuo ani mre ni koto ani nkwan ye de saba ko na di ni akira yeti na uwia sebi alomo bit esusu si nchen na wasani hurodo na emom obeso do san right sani say o do san left sani say ya aduane ne betrawo anya de ebe yeye sebe ye say ekom do say ya ye de saba ko be didi odi va sa bi oni nyina tidi nche wanu. Enunti no yemfa nko adwentwene mu Enti no say wo pese wo switch ekosa application ne so 5-year route now. The first requirement is that you have to be a parent of a British child. Once you tick that box, the second requirement is that you must have sole responsibility for the child. Se akase sole responsibility a just say wonkwa na sebio wo hwe akra no and making all the major decisions in a child's life. Enti ebi ne say ebi esuku akra ne ko onkwa na wo make decision, uko parent evidence, dropping and picking up the child. You need evidence to satisfy this. The authority as a who prove and answer you do not live with the child, but the child lives with a British or a settled parent or a carer, but they have direct access to the child as agreed with the parents. So, for example, when they akrane mami anasa the papa no entimu anasa oni akrane entimu nemom akrane ni mami anasa ne papa a oye British anasa kita settlement visa no ana eti na emom you no as the applicant no you have direct access to the child as agreed with the parent or with the carer whom the child normally lives, or as ordered by the court in the UK. And that means he said, "Se oni mame ni mpo eni hobiem, oni mame no ente, akrani mame ni netia." You need to evidence say you have direct access to the child. And about the sana ebia ubehia some documentation such as parental agreement and no oba justice and no bit me drafty biamo. Na ni mame ni nyida sign to show say you have direct access to the child. And you're very, very important. And I said, Akrana, only mama netino, that's only papa netino. Say, when you're British, and I said, only settled that. And your problem. And therefore, the mother or the father who has got custody or who the child resides with must have a British passport or a settled passport or a settled status. And I say anya oni mama no and I say papa nimpo na etino ne a third party net a guardian. That guardian must also have a status to be in the UK, and there have to be some sort of parental agreement that shows you say you have direct access to the child. The Justice and Law Solicitor Subana Bimuya Yibitimi Aye sa application way amount. Now the requirement then say you must be currently be living in the UK and you must have been granted a visa which is more than 6 months, not a visitor's visa. You are a parent of the child who is either British citizen or settled in the UK. You must no longer be in a relationship with the other parent. The child must be British and be living in the UK, and the child is someone under the age of 18 years. You should either have sole responsibility for the child or have personal contact with the child. That means you must have access to the child, either through court order or an agreement which has been signed by both parties. And you must demonstrate that you are playing active role in the child's upbringing and the child's life. And you have to be able to prove that you have adequate accommodation and you have means of able to sustain yourself. You must have means, you must have money. At least if you have about £18,600, that is more than adequate to be able to maintain yourself. And you must also pass the English test. It's important. You must demonstrate that you have passed the English test. I will suggest to you that go and do level. I will suggest to you that you go and do level B1, which is above the required level. The test is not that difficult. It's an easy test that you can pass easily. At the same time, if you want to move to a partnership route, you are living with a British person or someone with indefinite and you have a child together, you can switch from parent route to a partner route, in which you can go for 5 years, and after 5 years you apply for your indefinite. Requirements, is the same as the ones that I have mentioned. English test level A1, but I would suggest that you do level B1, which is high and above what is expected. So switching sana etie. The key is that you must have sole responsibility over the child, or you must not be living with the other parent. You must not be in a relationship with the other parent, but you have a court order or access, direct access to the child. And as I say, whoever is looking after the child, you must have evidence that you have direct access to the child. And therefore, that is the key. You do the English test, maintenance and also accommodation. You can prove that you'll be able to basically meet all these requirements. If you are able to do that, then of course you'll be able to make successful application. Say open successful application and the mechanic say book appointment ne behu justice and law solicitors oba yedi akotene e wo sanema we mu pa your telephone number nie mesrew me suja ofra book appointment ne bra ne nya ade ne ma one fa so dwiemrew obi o ha ote sasem we ya osime yusu madwene o ha no afrew no abusa one question no okọ no asaba no asaba abusa another question no okọ no asaba no abusa another question no person waste time obi a osinyame nhyira o amachopi nyame nhyira o entwa your bills your officer your commercial entity. We are running a business. We also have to make a living. Enti omom yesade no munyai say obefre na yesade na yemfi ubiem enye se ebia ye rude there be ye hu say ebi ma shomo ho bone yentimi change some people, but we need to change us. Enti sana sisa akoye enipa ne frɛ ɛto so 1 2 na so be so taking liberties a ofra yemfi ni biem sana yeso ese ye protect our interest. Enti sana sisi etie enti mesrepi so be from no be complain ese ofra lawyer na kra wo mfi na de ben de be ya enya ne kre cause obi wo a obeka cho so hia lawyer odi number ne ma no na no no be so be use atwene kese no di BTA sa school no ye jaiko ye nko biem se brebre ama anka amane so enye die emma enti no o question bi asoso a ye bibie number no atum ubetimi idea afre no busa all your questions ubetimi afre o question bi say na bidwumadie na say baby and I say whatever it is anka ho asem krana is about immigration and nationality a ubetimi afre ebusa o question na ene topic no the catwo e child arrangement and also so ye ba be kan ho asem sisi a na obi se me mo sa anwu we ma no nana aduma kunya meche enyuma very very powerful pa nti no ye beba biti sa anwu we na ye ba na ye dey affirm for the for what do you call it yes and you know yaba na chese child arrangement order.
When I get the pay for ya, I say, when you have a review, this idea, you didn't say, you
That's right. Adia ye di san yo no ye di enso ya enye yie. Ye ba can child arrangement order ho sensem. Fecha wana swate. Oja dem. Obisi lawyer. And you ya we go bia. And you and someone work on echo pep. Robert Ashley, your church. Yes, Odobia estatia eye fe na wieye e de ensem na eba na ye ka child arrangement order any de be ade emre pi no ewiase obi afi ni baabi na enipa mienu aba be hia ombe hia omo eye omadwene se ombe bobra abom a ombe budo na obudo ni wia na afi waye na dwene se oni enipa no ebobobra abom na se yoba eni bema ebedru mre bi ombe yo madwene se omombe hya ase abo abusia ana se ombe wo ba afi ombe wo ba na wie no afi odososo de atiso bema na afi adane akeka yehu fofra na ye krokro ebedru mre bi no na ye pampam wo kojo entwi na eka nasem na odode media ni kasa asemwe ukoma fi wani pa. Don't close your eyes, shine your eyes, because if yes na you want we live in a world of pretense, whether we like it or not. Say uko baby you look at what is also in your interest. Decision abe make biano your interest also is factored in. I am repino. I am a beautiful man say, I put you first before me. Massa. Ujidi and Ujidi. Be very careful. Because there is something in for the person. And not dear, fashion wa Musa. There is something in for that person. And yes, I win ye. Sebi, ye papa at the back of our mind, Yenim say our reward is in heaven. Yenim say nipa nimpo entwa yeka anase nipa no so anye bibia mayeya. Nyankopon anase osoro anase karma. Something good will come our way. Enunti na enipa ye bibi no. Enti by nature no, every human being as far as I'm concerned is a selfish human being. Everything that we do, we have an agenda. And therefore you don't go to a relationship with your eyes closed. Everyone will have their own views about this. But the reality is that you have to shine your eyes. Because so they won't engineer and not just any pan engineer in some ways. Say entokwesia and then huni persubine. Papa Pia Yamo Biano or Becca actually Akaio. And it's our papa ne papa no na say the person was doing it to build an agenda for future use in the future. And it's very important. And when it comes to relationship and a child is born, both parents, as far as the Children's Act of 1989 is concerned in this country. In Ghana, it's the Children's Act of 1998. as far as is concerned, both parents have responsibility over their children. They have to play a role in the child's life. But the reality of this is this. By society and by the way we live our lives, women tend to have the children. Women tend to be the primary carer of the children. Because by tradition, men have to go out there and work. And women will be home to look after children. In this 21st century, things are changing, and as a result, sometimes women stay home. But majority of cases, women stay home, and for the men to go out there and hunt and bring in their money. Traditionally, that has always been the case. And that appears still to be the case in most cases, even in this 21st century. Now, let's check this out. A child is born, both mother and father have parental responsibility over the child. What then happens? There is a breakdown of the relationship. Sometimes through bitterness, one parent will say that I will not allow you to see the other child, or I will not allow you to see the children. The wrong approach. In the sense, they said, don't take your anger to deny the children the right for their mother or for their father to be involved in their lives. Ebani sana enkwani na wudi o mabro na de biam kasa semwe brebre anowa eja onyankopon enshirawo. A mother's spirit or a father's spirit and influence over a child, nothing can replace that. De biam kasa semwe ese papa wo ye useless kra no ni sunsun eda ne maso. As useless as a man may be, I'm afraid to say this, it happens in most cases where a father will get angry to say that I'm not going to bother with the children because the mother is making my life hell. Don't give up on your child. You fight till the end. And if you have to take the mother to court to get access to the children or to the child, so be it. Ideally, it's important that the parties will have some sort of arrangement without the need for court intervention. But where one parent is stopping, playing games, stopping the other parent from seeing the child, don't sit there and say that because of this, because of that. It's your flesh and blood. They are your image. They represent you. And therefore, if you mean good, if you really mean well for the children, you try to resolve it with the mother, you try to resolve it with the father, and if it's not working, you take the other parent to court to get official access to be involved in the children's lives. How do you do this? You complete Form C100. But before you go to court, you have to try what we call mediation. When you come and see justice and law solicitors, we will go through the process with you. We will also be happy to advertise for you. We will also be happy to represent you. And we'll be happy to fight for you. So for me, it's crucial that as a parent, if the other parent is denying you the right to be involved in your children's lives, you take them to court. It is not ideal. But if that is what it takes, so be it. So the first thing is that you try mediation. When you come and see us, we will give you a telephone number for mediators who may be able to speak to you, speak to the child's other parent, so that you can come together and come with some sort of agreement. If it works that way, both parties sign the agreement and you stick to the agreement, that is informal. Fantastic. You don't have to drag your children through the court process. However, like in 9 out of 10 cases, one of the parents tend to be stubborn. They will not agree to anything. And the only thing is to take them to court. So you complete Form C100. You get the mediator to give you a certificate. And you add it to the application, you go to court. When you go to court, the court will come up with a timetable and set directions, what each party to do. The court will set up something called First Dispute Resolution Hearing, FDR hearing, or First Dispute Hearing, where the judge will sit down with you and the other party to identify what the issues are. What are the issues? And 9 out of 10, one parent will make an allegation that the other party is only showing interest because of his papers or her papers. That should not stop you as a father to fight for your children. Even if you don't have papers, that does not mean you cannot be involved in your children's lives. And if you are looking for someone to lead you, come to Justice and Law Solicitors, and we will do the best that we can and fight your case for you. So it's very, very important that you do what you understand this, that there is a way for you. Don't just sit there and do nothing. Because if it's your child, then you have to fight for your child. Because if you don't fight for your child, then of course it means, or it creates the impression that you don't care. And if you want someone to fight for you through the court process, come and see us, Justice and Law Solicitors. They say this is an area yasha see edi ho jumapa na obaso so a yebenya time amount you be guide you no be go through the process amount options and yet say over drag the other parent through the court, but whereby it is proven to be impossible for you to see your child. Men train emani too late and many pino ebi mo train ne visa baby wuno e wanna no baby show interest in his child's life. A banisana na so obani allegation, it will go against you. Eti mesre me pamacho ebeya ententem na wotu anamo na emum yesen ka brebre ama saso na anka amanie enso so enye den anka amanie so emma. Now the story of brebre ene amanie eno de yebijai amana ye edafofro intim jakeri ene oseititu entoka no moko ene empu atwa na omu twa wo mo ho intim jakeri say oseititu fa oyire amanie ebra denchira na omesomme oseititu si twa na yampia ese ma oyire brebre esoso emre kumase de emesomme Entina empenimfo say se brebre amadia anka amanie so anye de emma otumfo o say to the first okache dencha hene intim jakeri ese se wonfa brebre ama asantimamu se omrame so media anka amanie so anye de emma dencha mamu ese oba besomo enti brebre ama anka amanie enso so anye de anka amanie so ama. Mr. Bonsa ya chiacha baby a wo bia awari e mun topa sasa sini abuo topa mpori na empathy mun topa ko ya sasa sini abuo topa obi ode afide ndifu bia se ya chiacha mu nyina ribina kasakasa ba mun mi do sese de bia amatrofo na tum so pese wo fra number near 075389695989. Yeah, be a matrofo na to say opesa wo fra bibia yaka ho asem bia no obo betini afre ai. This week Obi from me catch me say adan this I see enkoye real me koye real a me wuntimi nye da yes akwanto wey ema enipa eni bie se abroche ema enipa eni bie na se betina abroche na se anye real a Ede ne fie for be kanyame eto ye nsafre na se enye wela Alunti na ye fie ntokwa wo bebrebe no de bia manson 7 girls because ye nya we ye nsiese ye chi ana yakopon to ne nsa afre obi apese okọ heaven but obi ampese obewu Wa wusu so a won ko heaven owuo ye se de eye enhyira. Owuo so de edia obi abewu entimenso owuo ai. Se bebu e fe ne heaven na se wogi Nyankopon di na se oye ogidini a. Oye de na wusuro owuo. Baya dako owuo mposiro. Owe odi ehun yan se obi abeye bi ai. Sema eba yenim aya na edoso no yada committee e case bi ba manim obema ba ko owu ye ema be 5 obi ase ono na eye ne yere na enye asemkuma e ka de omo bru bi pa ema 5 obi akofa lawyers ye de ye ti wo anya obi na se manson ba ye de ebedi hu ska ma ai said you come manson ni wan ka lawyers di wo. And you also when you know the creative man on it too, yeah, the buy the baby do home because I'm provoking cow mutibomono, and then I lawyer say this cabre. Men can sell your dark one and two for your dark one and can't. Sana Evia Senate here, yes, a monsoon tina lawyers for Ovia say. Number so there, a statue of heaven, a so in Chada. Say, oh, yeah, lawyer, not sure who's ye dear, and your best say, and what? Yes, and what, Shannon who's ye do, and a unini ebeye utupe. Mobro, Yanya first caller, young fan enough for yen for Medina and Shishaso. Hello, caller.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Now, Pacho, Bako Pet, Obini Menim, Obini Mechi, Ayamengwa. Lawyer, what?
That's that was lawyer. So church all the time. Lawyer, no pay me questions. You know me and friend man. Hey, me questions you made us. This question I'm a young cookie. Lawyer, Pacho, the young queen na or you need pushing na only queen and Tawantawanto my divorce. Na said your church and 10 years, or if we gain approximately 80 or your customary married divorce, so I call you again. Now, they say, my say, and yeah, dear, save your person wife for with the Wakoya again and a better, but only separate and we share the perform for any other. You turn our fan, no, or your school, na. Onusu kita obeye ni masters into kita 2 years maybe. But nanka obana ehwese because only ko ni jaye no 5 years ni ntino. No person ko ye ni indefinite. I mean onene e worry and 5 years e 20 no for so person ye ni indefinite. To be say with the divorce no if we gonna buy no customary divorce no bet me the indefinite na.
Okay, very
because a person said they are one a banner and the benefits in a kuma book, no. So they say a day year. Owiena say wait me the obit me Owiena so person or the warrior. If you are the banner you on so any day, wait me as I kuma divorce certificate now. Is that possible?
Yes, it's very possible. Now may the link be at comment section here. O click here and they call the law section 46 of the Family Law Act of 1986. It explains the law and it's very easy to read. Now Messiah Esisubium dear a Cromwa Emra Nekane say Udi divorce certificate from a foreign country Ebe Cromwa and I say okay use the Cromwa. Eye 2 ways ana was say ultimately prove say a valid. It's a friend the recognition of foreign divorces. Now under section 46(2) of the Family Law Act of 1986, you know, there can say uye divorce through court proceedings in a foreign country, automatically it is recognized in the UK. 46(2)(b), or say uye divorce. Now say it was not done through court proceedings. It is not automatically recognized in the UK unless certain conditions can be met. And to the first question we say when they say divorce certificate was it through court proceedings? If the answer is yes, sir, then automatically it is recognized in the UK.
The answer is no. No, because
exactly. And if it is no,
because
exactly.
They couldn't do it at the court.
That's right. Fantastic. And now we agree it's a first requirement in the intimate meeting. And you call it that one out. And since it was not done through court proceedings, you know, I was in section 46(2). I know na otherwise by court proceedings. Now I no also this the following conditions can be met. The first condition is say parties, you know, is one of them a national of that country. Yes, because ABA one of them will be a national of Ghana, the other party may be a national of other country, or maybe both are a national of Ghana. So we'll be okay. The second requirement is that divorce accepted or recognized in the country in which it took place. And no, if it's a problem, because Ghana customary divorce is accepted. The next requirement, where the parties residing in that country 12 months before the issuing of the divorce certificate. And one is a problem, baby. Parties don't get divorce, no. Satan may be my own one, be divorce, no. Almost now, our country move for 12 months. This is where soccer punch near the whole way.
Obama did now for just 4 or 5 months, but 12 months maybe.
You see, and therefore, no, technically, no, a one be a problem. Now, the one say, and I must admit, a bit more dear call, I'm a home office wajia to say, oh, ye divorce, now they pay retention. Sometimes, you know, all one casano, they don't know the law, until they just accept it. And Abia, they confuse you almost when they say, when him say Ghana divorce certificate, they are also in the High Court of Justice, and so even though it was not sanctioned by a judge, and to be one any boss now, not going to say a court, no judge. And technically, no, a mistake. If you can see for the onim the warrior pano, will follow the rules under section 46. And then I want to say, not a community bar, maybe BBR say, no. Okay, indefinite, you know. CCA so called retention on the basis of indefinite. Na case worker no onim sa law we ya obe catch or say your divorce no is not recognized in the UK. So onimu dia you can get away with it. Because it does not change the issue about section 46. It is still there. I know say a lot of people have used it. They did not have any problem. But CCA is nipa no eco use sa law we ya wapem. Enti a risk here nipa no ono ankasa no eso tu ne hofo. I said, am I prepared to take this risk? Personally, if at all possible, I would say risk bi o ho a ehun hia so be take. If you can avoid it, avoid it. But obi obeka say me de mo no, I don't care. As a lawyer, no, all that you can do is to advise. Who advise na say nipa na say I will go and basically against your advisor, you write a disclaimer. I say you have advised against it, the person is taking the risk by himself. Said they are going to call wronger, enipa na nkasa and pointing fingers, now omesi for your fairness and for negligence. Matthias here.
We came 5 years now. It's offer divorce into the non-compare indefinite. Then you better than say or the divorce I send back one.
I mean the reality is say and brother say un divorce way. That's when the bear not transfer for 5 years. That's what me prove say matter for 5 years you can apply.
Okay. Okay.
And your second question is so.
Second one.
And I'm some answer question. I'm an answer you yourself.
I'm question is and then some of them in Kenya to my friend. Oh yeah, but you status and indefinite. It is the same because it didn't do much.
Yeah, the same in the sense to say settled status near the Mawa. In the olden days, and I said before settlement scheme issue came into place, a way of distinguishing between how you got your indefinite. And until a FB settlement status, the FB indefinite leave to remain, but the same. And it's a Siano, Semibusa said, what is your status in the UK? Naka said, your settlement status. Straight away, my mind tells me, say, Unya your indefinite, and I said settlement status, no. Through your association with an European national. Semibusa say what is your status? Now say with the indefinite leave to remain. It tells me say you may have got your status through either married to a British national, through being a family being a parent of a British child, or through long residency in the UK, or through work permit route in the UK. And you know, first and near two laws. European law and UK immigration law. And when it is granted under European law now, Rebecca say EEA family permit, EEA family member, settlement status. When it's granted under UK law, leave to remain, indefinite leave to remain, limited leave to remain. And to oka yana it mean who angola u yusu ye edinya sa status no. Enti no wonya
because a basa de owo ale ba ne benya kuma asetana
ni nyina the same unya European settlement status now wa obani a British the same. It doesn't change anything. It only tells the Home Office and I said the listener say who fight unya through European and I say unya through British immigration law because first no your British immigration law and your EE regulations. And you know, two different laws. And then a chere baby and barbedru. And you are indefinite in idea. And you true Europe, true British, indefinite is indefinite. Dukadaya. Meaning I pay.
My last question. You may be one compared and then the Oklahoma when you are a kidney problem. Number two, when you are the creator 1 month to grandma. Na sisi not to diocese so oguso oyi treatment but because of your untimi nye but because of fanikata ni statue na yiri ni mubi ejuma kakra obetumi age benefit am na help na
it's a baby pending krata kurikita no yamano with no recourse to public funds ana I say busem in krata ni bu aye de mawa you can apply for benefit why ye ejuma won ye ejuma benefit na you too many different types so ebi ohonuma enye income base ebi ohonuma obi ansaka enti no hwe ne status na ansa visa ni boy de mawa you see no recourse to public funds that means he said enti no yes eno na me ba beba so enti no e be depend se bi that's one we free so se bi na so dia na say there's no point over your application.
Okay.
And yes, establish it. Yeah, true. Yeah, crowd. Why? And there was supposed to send recommendations. We will make sure say the recommendation is justified. Yem when you move say you be going clean. Yes, yeah, that was a power. No problem. Bye bye for now. Yes, also bet me afraid. Number no ana a good board in the sono. Yes, I'm more from wanting enwura mu nyina no. Mo yes mo san free bi number near sorry, mom friend landline no. They are told by mistake. Mon friend number is 07538969589. Ubeti na fra bisi so. Hello 052 yanko.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning to you.
Okay, thank you. I saw the same Busa say, my friend, but actually, not make a so you make man, but not minister, the time means Cynthia. say we me kofa me brother ba na me busa say me tell no 1 year but me to kwan man na nya me benti me ka say me niba Saturn 2011 year no na ma me ni me tinten but since then no 2012 no 1 year na me two kwan me buy so ma sending is scam ya na share na ama na say o ko 12 years ni school ni bibia me shepe ne ma bibia ko na ma me na ja na bo me ma me so na ma say abrowa but akwa no to the way so love mommy cha ne ma me no na nti me so me ba na ma be wo na ma me ba ne ho se ni nua no ko le we amene kasa ne ne ma no ti odi ni nua ya ma me ba no tembia wo se ade na me fa ni sister ba no nko aho na me ne ba ne so nko ane wo ha fa adwuma se ne ne ma no me ho kire no nti mpese nka me kofa no but me di benefits na me wo he fish me di PIP so it's a personal independence no na mpese me ho se meet me e na ba na without adoption na say adoption no mpese me ho kakra na Mr. T my lady Mujuma.
Yeah, I mean a bit difficult in the sense to say enye oba direct and therefore no under the immigration rules, you know, it doesn't make direct what do you call it, direct room for you to bring someone's child, which is your brother's child. In this case, you know, so we are adoption, legal adoption. And then my mind tells me say the right route to take. And once you are able to adopt the child, you know, then technically or legally, the child becomes your legal child. And under the immigration rules, paragraph 310, ubetimi at the Akrana ID Abba as your child. They also have an application. I don't know an application outside of the immigration rules. Now I don't know notoriously difficult because Home Office have a lot of discretion in which they can say yes, they can say no, based on the circumstances while laying out. Now I don't know, unfortunately there isn't any black and white law. Say tick this box, tick that box, tick that box. I don't know, you will be pleading to the Secretary of State. I said this is an exceptional case and therefore they should treat this case outside of the law. Now, and no, unfortunately, Home Office tend to be very, very, very tough. Over the past 10 years, there's only one case that I've heard of, our Home Office, even that because of pressure, back it off. This was where we'll be bringing in from Iraq. And no, their parents were dead. The grandparent who was looking after the child also died, and the child had difficulties, special child, and therefore as a result, the brother did an application for the sibling to come over. Even that they said no, they had to go through the court and fight, and on compassionate grounds, finally the Home Office accepted to grant leave to enter outside of the immigration rules because of compassionate circumstances. From what you are saying, as to whether it will be enough on the basis of compassionate circumstances, I doubt it very much. Because
if I were able to do the
adoption,
maybe I make me the number.
That's right. Because adoption, once you adopt a child, the child is your child, even though any biological child, and remedy a yoga. And the beauty about this is like we've been lucky in the sense that I think 2017 January, Ghana became a signatory, or 2016. It's either 2016 or 2017 January. Ghana became a signatory to the Hague Convention in relation to inter-country adoption, and UK is a signatory to the Hague Convention. And UK have said, those who have been granted an adoption under the Hague Convention will be accepted by the UK. So in this respect, I would say the adoption route will be the better route for you to be able to bring your niece or your brother's child to the UK.
Okay, that's it.
No problem. So Eddie.
Oh, basically, because me scaffold my me puma major uni na me die. And I mean, it's me who say, you can say, me banana me at the time, and I or take it, not tea at the same time. And I made the name of me bano, me the nepa panic me you know, me dinner best state, so but it's really not you know, and they won't say any but papa, me bana so the biological father, no now, not take he yeah, when they sharp grab. But the same who say, me not change bed state no dear in there honum and I'm there ne papa na kasa amacha support no more tinisika na dem akra no but me kuri you ni no betimi ama me aba ha na
say no
ayi ni awari me nware no me divorce no
okay I mean say we invite you be so or basket or ba visit ya na
say be our like say me fan say ebi aneba ne me ba no intimi ni ho no but me di ne o me ba ne best state no so no intimi obetimi de me ma me aba for EU side ana
EU law no kra say it's not applicable in this country again ye twem
okay
and moreover no osani na ejai until you are no longer a family member to the EU national.
Okay.
And therefore, no.
All right. Bye.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. So also person offer number no, 07538 969 589. Say by mistake in metro office number no so eguso. Say offer 0207 na obi eniwa obefa sesi ya. Timesre pi mamon fresh number no. Name monfre 07538 969 589. You can take 1 or 2 more calls and then we will bring the program to an end. Obviously, the person needs to apply for the card. I don't understand that question. Yenshin Oba Padgrace. So the question is a bit incomplete. I'm not quite sure what Oba Pa Ebusa. So what's Nyafra Akebeboa? Number no 07538 969 589. Ofrena. Okay, I said Obapa Frimpon Edubofo Abebio. I said I've got a dissolution of customary marriage from Ghana. Can I use that to apply for indefinite leave as a spouse of a settled EU citizen, please? Okay. As now can I say only Nipane Jaya and your own spouse be because the relationship came to an end at the time of the divorce. And the MSA dear or patre me say only Nipano Ejaya obetimi ambeki application for indefinite leave as a formal family member of an EU citizen under retention ana. If you say sana anybody just hello.
Hello, good afternoon, lawyer.
Good afternoon to you. Number 2 is Nana free.
Nana Himasapon, your one and only.
Nana Himasapon, one and only Bakope. Young Quay, Nana.
But may ban passport I spy. Now I hear some of my address and which me renew. So I wanted to find out that how does it go?
Obane passport, I see a Ghana passport of one said.
The Ghana British passport.
Oh, okay. Yedina near Ghana passport of one said.
Okay.
British passport today. I'm going to say a boy bit in your boy. A simple processor, one can bit in you pick up the passport application form from the post office. You can also do it online. So say by all means, you call the office, we'll be able to assist you in applying for it. And you're big deal.
Okay. Maybe I say because the passport is a 5 year. I saw last 2 years ago, last year, I can't even remember.
Okay, I mean, under 16, they are still going to give him another 5 years.
Because she's 8 now.
Another 5 years. Until say we reach him to the age of 16, 17 before they tend to give them 10 years passport. And see what offer office about me. Not to see about
office line Monday, yeah.
Monday. Why?
All right.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much for the way my Ghana for.
Yes, yeah, that one you know. Hello, 753.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lawyer.
Nampacho one ekase na kase free.
Lawyer. Lawyer Papa Billy. When no lawyer or you can be lawyer Rako.
That's right.
Little so I'm sorry. It was your phobia so chill.
Yeah, chill.
So Mudawasi. The show more Mako Ukraine, so mobile. Lawyer.
Ukraine.
Anyway, maybe I think I could be.
Yonko.
Madame Fubina said, Nebuchadnezzar ni BF. Na Nebuchadnezzar we film no. Ni sister ba. Onu na odi na dia. Na opese na ko transfer nipa na we film no. Ni sika gu na account mo. Na ono so oji benefit. Now our rights of it may transfer good the same account and now so it might be different.
One thing they say obi free ma before say ubetimi a transfer ni sika and now say ubetimi a dealing with the deceased estate, you know. I was say we apply for probate and I say letters of administration. Now one yenesa now we shall see a transfer scar. Someone could accuse you of misappropriation. And on a banner, a bit midwife to us. It may make us say before you touch anything, no, you need to freeze all the accounts. Get a copy of the death certificate. Tell the bank, I say any panel, and until freezing the assets. You would then have to make application for letters of administration, especially. Senipa no anya wela ye ka ho nsem bebre. Senipa no anya wela wa we next of kin and as a family member no, you can apply for letters of administration. And no UK government na bema utumi ese utimi deal with all the affairs and the estate of the deceased. And no on second letters of administration na you send a copy to the bank will give you the power to do whatever you want with the money. And no say o transfer empo eba account now say benefit people for ne ebusa wo say ska we efri here or evidence to back it up, because we'll benefit from time to time they will be coming to say bring your bank statement, do this, do that. Why you share na so nko say kaka kra ke ba beto account ma and sure o ma dwene be ye o mo say eye capital bi a wa inherit eye wa wusika. And with benefit system, when you come into any money, you have to tell them, especially because whatever you get could have effect on the benefit that you get as well. And in order for no one to accuse you, make us a oyanesa ebeboa. And yes, idea any brebre man kamaniamba. Se winya a fairness and probate and answer letters of administration Nivia says cano transfer echo different account menya our account. Say the ya for problem dia Emma. Because it's a benefit for no suspicious. Any movement or free say you are hiding money and I say who is kebia udc. And on a banner sana it's made a how a bread a nipano. Pacho what's a massive?
Matiasi. Naka like Sikano or no transfer good account to an uncle a yam for no more dia just to transfer no not to be any transit.
Once a Sesiano, Emremuno, say Obiwa, you don't have the right to just transfer the money without getting probate. Whilst I Abia bank, the death certificate, Abion Betua says, so your next of kin. Someone could come and accuse you. Obi balance or the allegation be bad. Sometimes now it's very difficult for you to wiggle out. And procedurally, no. A Chroma manager say, before you can tamper with the estate of the deceased, apply for the power from the government to do it. And you know, me no offer emra kwan so a unsuru echire. Sometimes no obi paade a obeka cho say yentwa kones ye peska ya ye koyese say nipa na abese atwa ne ho ese scan kra ko yiye kra no wadi scan no anaso yiye kra no eye more than the other bre wo ye ka so enti wanhwe by the time a we be ba ho so no ne ase we enti na meka say nipa no nya a bit careful because ya no a ye de bobosia no enye no ana ye ditua enipa mu so dasani epe bibia dine ya o ye na danfo odi wia na ni refi ti adoma ko nyame che o so be nipa papa no fire akokọ abo akokọ fire ne papa na anya nye kura de obebon anadwo ama wa sorry enti nipa de oni edili so ye careful pa bibia wo be ya adachi bi ebetimi ababa ka ba be bite woni de be very very careful enipa hu enti de me meka no.
Oh, okay. Now me person me bisa one more. In case account no name ne nipa na we film no who an account ne BBN ne password a obetimi ayi sika no just kakra o.
Me meka say don't do it because me sem ye busuani anase me ye ma nipa na wewu no eba na echire me hu say obi yi sika free account at the time of his death I will report that as theft. What we ye not to bit ya ba becho. Enti na
send pani next of kin.
Okay. Owuo ebefia edinsem papa. Se bibi wo so gu nipa no na wo ye nadamfo. Echira se wan so ngu na no a wo ye netamfo. Enti medie ye bibia wo mra kwan mu a you fear no allegation or no accusation. Because the very people make a choice say, Yodium, no. O mana, a bill with Tico Duaco 2 womb. And it's our family of us who are wounds roche. Because we'll be a woo, not count. Enter a bank a crown, you see your bank PIN number, you must not share it with anybody. And your condition, I didn't in casa to prevent fraud. Si say nipa ne wo no siska every account ma technically is fraud because unya probate unya tumi esefa ko yiska no adenti na ko yiska no wan hwe yi hu betimi a kire but then again emremu no I have to work with the law ese me ka de emra na e ka ne kire because emra se sa na ese wo follow enu be yesulo but e dey sunjibe bro in a long term. Because obi a who could use in a card, any could use free account. Our brain nipa ne wu a we need to me to do that. Umubeti natural. I just want to make a new day, but
I know. Let's see what we more rich.
Aye, it's yen try. Yes. Yen try na yen fa the right route. Na emphasis on probate na letters of administration no. Obana be hupia meboa nipa no ama na ye application no. Na onya se atumi na afi watimi e de aye de eso we. Because unim da chance mo enipa hu me de kakra me hu nti. Sebe obakra ne ndakete so anasa bema ne ndakete so unim de ko na dwuma no anadwo anasa anopa evia sinifa unity ni change at any time sebe se ehwanuma na ede enya fi wanuma eti wani so enti de meka ne se je de mra kwan so se de ya da chimbi obi emptimi enkofa asem emre. Why? You see, a chili a way chili. Name boom, say Unyan to was yes, so ubeti move mountains. Sana etie. And yet, I say,
yes, yes,
Mamma Frey, I went young Remno, Musum betini, Afre Sisia, a page so not among for air free pa. about 1:30 dwumadi na se biba na wieye enti ma mo 5 minutes yem wa be free bi afre na yem on tofa na yentimi enko chile ene the weather ne so eye good pa aya na bokam a yebetimi akọ chile kakra ti ebesre mo so pese wo fra wo so free number no yes obiaba yemfa na fe yenkoja nim hello good afternoon
hello good afternoon mama na boatman ekata
mama boatman positives mother
amen
no size nyame adomo okoso e hira ye fi adumo ekọ adumo
yes why are there pa what is it pa
that's right
na kata me kan say green I green the why fedodo
damasi
I want to choose that imagine now
oh me cream mother dey choose man and pay ya obo me breakfast you no say massa ye little green entienche green ye metra se ye program
my good wife
that's right
why are there what choose to come up na what should I say we a little green nursery and park
that's right
yeah to support them I mean a little green nursery the management and the workers in na me chia o mo mi da o ma ti bebre ni ade a o ma ya na we the lawyer yesterday ana obi frere I don't see na dey that why you WhatsApp you so ankwala go so little green nursery ana me say hey na one day the other lawyer go for bi na biye na di what is sa ana ni pa na ya di lawyer be ya me say lawyer da ko pa ya na say di what say hey na ni din ankasa di ko juro na lawyer we dey no ba jo
the shadow came no
oh, say, what do you want to say? I'm saying, you need more. I'm not into woman, I be a little green nursery. Say, yes. Well, see, hey, we don't want to I'm what you are saying. That's what we can't someone. Yeah. You do not one near there. Okay. I'm telling you, now, we are saying, oh, dear, the one, or Tesso will be about Fian. Now, the first history in London. And killing little green nursery. What the hey? I don't know. I don't know much anyway. I won't do now. What the hey? I'm meant to your coach and country. I'm saying, so bad. I'm catching you. Won't you any radio now that you're not
I don't know.
Won't you any radio there? And I want to watch you anyway. May I have the one? I can remember Uncle Anna. I said you radio now. I might. I love you when you got so many songs. You forgot it. And I was saying, you walk with them. That's what I'm so and I'll say, hey, when I'm seeing me and I told you, we can't ABC to know I'm to them. Yes. And I'll say, hey, anyway, who be that? And I'm sure. No, my course will be yes.
Sir.
We have to share with Pia. And you quite say, Ubona bullshit. Because we need record that should be already. Obey it. That you will be asking. And the tear or force one.
Daddy.
Yeah, not young Casta to see a dear mission. Not demonstration.
That's right.
I think there's so much time for America doing the issue. Maybe my cooking. Now, never so. Now, for so far, we won't be clear.
Yes.
I feel like I met about to be clear. Why I said too much?
But that was
what can cut some? I have your food, but you think I know about ocean. Any question, I said, oh, they are too much. What gonna need the answer? You all I will open your bin of coming in some consumer shop. Woman, be actually woman neck on my cabin. Oh, you. Ama, you better than me. You know, I met a lot of time. I met a mountain shoe and soon change. You compose you be no.
That's right.
You bye. Bye.
Oh, Joseph, Edwasipi, thank you for your support.
I'm
The program was brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors, 35B The Link, 49 Ephra Road, Brixton, London, SW2 1BZ. We cover all areas of immigration and nationality law, family law, especially child arrangement order and contact orders, also financial arrangements. We also do drafting of legal documents, affidavit for lost passport. Okay, we saw by Yemfano. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Pacho Didi saying I can say free.
Me Pacho, me explain me I've been on the Cassette Bristol.
I've been on Bristol. I've been on Young Quay.
Me Pastor me that was the brave.
Hey,
and your mouth the bread me that was it.
I've been on Jay.
So you know what I say.
Aha, Young Quay. I've been on Young Quay.
Me Pacho me wait to me program ni brave. So me busa. Now we can send ya Ruth to settlement. Pacho, obviously not to show Kakrache. Pacho.
The woman is say, oh, 10-year route. Na so person dey ba 5-year route na eye short mawa eno na ne ka ho asem na this week enkofo bi dey nam eso what na krumu for 10 years a ubetimi akwa apply for indefinite enye sa netie na embom se what na krumu a lawfully for 10 years a ubetimi akwa application for indefinite lawfully nature say o visa sa continuous for 10 years and now say yama 10-year route ni bi na se opese wo change ba 5-year route a eno so no emra ewo ho a obetimi na eno no eye two ways of doing it either say your amount 2.5 years and our partner eye British and also get indefinite eno no se woni nete na mo ye partners a utimi switch eba 5-year route as a partner and na se oni na worry a utimi switch eba 5-year route as a partner and na se wo ba now per se we switch it into 10 and 5-year parent router and also so ubetimi aye provided say or existing visa which is not a visitor's visa. Now and no the main requirement in say also prove say oba aye British you have you are a sole parent of that child and now say unye sole parent ekra na I was a cranny in mammy and I send a papa net and a papa near British and also kita indefinite, but you have direct access to the child. And then I the main ingredient. And for example, the go for failing is say, a dear mammy be claim child benefit. As a or not the main or the primary carer of the child. Now papa is so a unity say, me mammy too, mama family 5-year route because I'm the main parent of the child. A banisana, someone is not telling the truth. And Tabani Sana won't say it me refuse papa no that's all because my main child benefit in it, or nana abanja to say or the main parent of the child. And and nana ye can who send essay a quine wo hono name requirement a bit tough kakra you need to be able to prove. And either say you are the sole parent or sole primary carer of the child, or you have a direct access to the child. And that you have letters from the school, letters from the GPs and so on to show. Let's say you have direct access, you play a major role in the child's life. You do the English test level A1, you are earning and you are able to look after yourself, you have accommodation in order to be able to switch to the 5-year route. It's not an idea can was similar.
Actually, that's me pacho sleep about 5 years. I know that's not for people.
Me pacho u break him anti
Me pacho work for 5 years in every. Knock out 5 years. Now another 5 years. I hope to buy a baby. Pacho.
So kita 5 years.
5 years when I'm away. And say me me serve another 5 years. Is it possible that meeting has to another to a settlement now?
So we switch it to 5-year settlement na the way kind aye no na enye sa category no e do ashim just as I start another 5 years again. And technically, no, as someone for so be a man. And tell you 10 years and then you indefinitely not baby.
Oh, but sure.
Why? Very dear. Yes,
thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
And you know, MSC, a brain I pay about 140. Ya trust ya started 11. Ye 2 hours 40 minutes. enti no momfa encheye e wo se di dwumedie na eba na wieye Edofosia me chiachia ene what bidini ye on said ye ma me be kan ye no o se lawyer ye fe odwura enye odwura nko o ye fe mo odwura kese me di e sha da kem no positive se wuti a ye nyina ye free so ro ewie wo atagwe yes no dey produce enti sana etie Edofosia ye chiachia so the micro ni sa na ye ko ene o media e sha da kani mo no say di so te ye bo a obi musa say ye na ofri o ye body na straight away na o mu say ifri mountains ifri honomo sana etie tile ada ko obi sam say me free here ana a difficult say me free ana say me free ana say me free ya media me free baby abi Ghana baby a abusiafo na bi hye honomo enti sana etie enti no Edofosia ene wanya confirmation and when we said na make na nya agro na midi Atagi the capital yes when you produce Atagi say anywhere in the whole world na nyame adoma e ba be Atagi factory o de montana wo ye ni bra no anya agro ni edi enti sa na etie unza Atagi etimi de ye cream bi e very nice pa me refi cream ni di enti na enche bia you mountains for be a factory and the Atagi and ho neman kwan de be a complementary product na che say ye koye nim why na a creative job ama omo motiwo ni nyina titembia innovation and na ye twere ho enti etie for ye chacha mo nyina Edofosia micro ni me chacha be bia wo bia oba pa Grace oso be bia wo bia ye chacha o question busa no manti ase yi enti saket mi Fred yanka ke ye chirechire mu emao Mr. Kwaku Edam Bansa Birmingham ana wo baby a wo bia ye chiachia Mr. Robert Ashley also baby a wo bia ye chiachia ese wase wadaje na wo de ato na wati de dia brew ene awie ene anopai saso na Mr. Frank Kwame Owusu baby a wo bia so ye chiachia Ekria McDonald also baby a wo bia ye chiachia da wase ese ene so de afidie ni to ha Abigail Jolly yes sanyo a beautiful song was here chiachia Little Green Nurseries o tapua na ko omo website wa de so hu bia no be hu ho no Little Green Nurseries is a brand new nursery in a brand new building at the Clapham Junction where building at mu say esiso ankasa brand new building bibia facilities everything is in there so person oma eye fit oma psychologically oma independent now oma very strong women and children oma followers nembum ombeye leaders beginning enuna ehia fa omo eye fa omo call Little Green Nurseries say open south east and southwest hadia enuna make come for amount Little Green and then uhwe omo logo ne kra na eye dua eye green ana enkra eto seesaw omo to adonko ewo edua na se na wood ana se tree eye life and so be so oba eye life be so oba e live and na Little Green ana ye be come for ide amount loving lion will forever loving Jah was say a church as we do a video no ato Justice and Law Solicitor Utie Sasuna Joe Mwala Ba man of God baby I will be a chiachia Benjamin Opoku was a chiachia Joe Mitchell and I was a chiachia Elizabeth Kellis also baby I will be a chiachia or say the system is working 24/7 sana etie ya chiachia munyina nana ekria usua also baby I will be a there was siswa sawa da ginando afidie na to a we dey a roll call and a year bono Rosemary Eddie Boss Lady Bako pe obini nachi obini nanim Master PC Michael Ama also baby I will be a chiachia Richmond Asamoah baby I will be a chiachia Mr. Hene Musa Sasu na ye chiachia and ye da was sawa da ginando afidie na to a Nana Akosia Jankroma Ofuri Ata also baby I will be a chiachia Bismarck Adams Only Busiani na ye chiachia Nana Ajiman, what can I say? Thank you for your continuous support. Baby also will be a chiachia. Mr. Akosi Anochi was also ye dinasiye ana emao. Obibia yenti na modi bia mo fanche edini de doso. Ya kom anya bobo bia kama. yedamasi enti monfa nwumbu yi enya de entwa monase sana yeye no sa pepepepepe say ya enti se obeso be hunya ya your number 0207 993 5976 Justice and Law Solicitors 24/7 or 07 538 969 589 Brother be hunya all your legal matters, immigration and nationality, family law, landlord and tenants. You come and see us. If you wanna draft any legal agreement, come and see us. Come on. So we share a baby and a person in the coffee for your bar. Brother, be we na ebe adwuma na kama ama bibia so ade ye da bunya mase na me ehiro mo on kamo ho e be se hia biem next week we di nyami jabo salam alaikum ayiko mo fanyo ntwa mo na se ai
Come